Hello everyone, I'm Salgator, back again. As you can probably tell from the 30 seconds before my voice cut in, we're recording this on a body cam. Not just any body cam, it's the Motorola Si500 Video RSM. It's kind of like, I would say a Lex and a Commander mic kind of combined. Runs Android, can do radio control, either over Bluetooth if you have an older firmware version on the SI. I should make that very important distinction. If you ran, let's see here, what was it? There we go. So my Si500 came with 2.10. Well, 2.20, there we go. 2.20 still allows you to select Bluetooth as an option on the RSM. And unlike what most people say, you can still use it. It still works 100% fine. It's not a radio limitation. It's a limitation in the firmware of the RSM. However, you can still use wired mode. That works great. I'm using it right now just because, well, I want everything to have dark mode, and it seemed Motorola's way of getting you to, well, upgrade was to, make dark mode the newer versions. So I'm running 2.6, and yeah. Another thing you hear a lot about these is that you can't pull the video off of them without Command Central Vault. Well, as you can probably tell, considering you're watching this, that's not entirely true. So, I'm probably not going to make a complete video over it. I'm just going to probably, I'm just going to keep it to this on how to do it. So, listen in, and I hope the audio is good. If not, I'll just type it somewhere. You'll see it pop up on screen. So these things have Android debug, or ADB, enabled by default, pure and open, ready to go. How I'm doing this is I used radio management to load an APK file of OneDrive. Realistically, you can do any service, but the note here is that it can't be Google. You have to use completely de-Googlified applications. They can't use Chrome as internal web browsers. They can't use Google logins. And it's simply because the Lex has been basically stripped down to well, not the Lex, the Si500. Or 700. They're the same thing, basically. Just one has GPS. Well, one has GPS and for Tetra. That's the 700, and then one's for basically everything plus Tetra, which is the 500. But they've taken a standard stock Android install, and they've pretty much cut it down to only the essentials. Now let's split it up here. Of course, time to turn around, I guess. And part of that has been de-Googlifying it. There's no Google Play services, no Google Play Store, and I mean, realistically, you can't even access the home screen. You are locked inside what's called what is it? It's the Motorola Home or something. So you're locked in there. You can't access anything about it. So I'm going to post a command that basically you have to shoot it into the Lex, well, the Si500 using afternoon. You shoot it into the Si500 by using ADB. It'll break you out into the home screen. In here, you don't have. You're going to want to keep the ADB command window and the USB plugged in, because you don't have access to the arrow, circle, or the square buttons. So yeah, A little bit annoying to use, but it is what it is. I heard a notification here. What does it want? Oh, must be my phone. But my finger doesn't get in the way. There we go. There we go. So you shoot the command in there. I'm going to post that down below, as usual. And that'll break you into the home screen, well, the launcher window. You go into here after using radio management, LTE radio management, yet again. I'll have that code posted below. It's the same one that I showed in the Lex video on how to get radio services enabled. Same software. Free from Motorola. For a 3-year subscription, that is. And if you're interested, I'll also post the product code for the Lex firmware updates and stuff. So, use radio management to load the APK file for whatever service you're using. I would recommend one that does automatic uploads. I'm using OneDrive in this case. I would normally use Google Drive because that's what I normally use, because Google, all praise Google. But you can use anything as long as it's, I would recommend a competitor of Google. They're most likely to not use Google as their login or have Google built in. OneDrive works great, as evidenced by the fact you're watching this. But yeah, you load that via LTE radio management. Use the ADB command to break out into the home screen. Go in, find OneDrive, log in using normal Microsoft stuff. If you want Wi-Fi during this, since normally the Si500 only uses Wi-Fi during end of shift. Excuse me, allergies. Whew. You're going to want to go to the settings first. Enable Wi-Fi there, just like a normal Android phone. But, log in, set it up, and then reboot the Si500. And you should be able, if you've busted it into letting you record to the SD card instead of the encrypted video partition, which, if you haven't, I'll do a video on that, since I think a lot of people are going to be wanting that. I'll do a separate video on how to do that, but you have to have it recording to an SD card. But basically, you just set OneDrive, tell it, hey, I want you to auto-upload this folder. Usually it will be, I want to say, MSI camera. Just tell it, hey, I want you to auto-upload this folder. Reboot it. It'll boot you back to the normal Motorola home screen instead of Android. And you shouldn't have to touch it at all. It should, at least with my experiences with it, it actually, end of shift, doesn't end the process until it detects that everything using Wi-Fi is done. So you don't have to worry about it doing partial uploads. So, you just tell it, hey, Wi-Fi only, auto-upload MSI camera, and bada bing, bada boom, good to go. So, tell it all those things, and then hit end of watch on normal radio settings. Should auto-upload. It should take, I want to say, depending on the amount of videos you have already on there, should take anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes, or longer, depending on how long they are. So, yeah. If you have any questions, as usual, post below or email me, and I'll make sure to get that. I'll be sure to get that second video out on how to get these things to record into the SD card. It's really quite easy. So, yeah. Non-Stalgator, out.